Hello everyone, welcome to the video on COVID-19 treatment drugs. I have made this video to create an awareness regarding all these drugs which are supposed to treat COVID. In this video I have explained about ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, convalescent plasma therapy, remdesivir, azithromycin, colchicine. Even more drugs are there, I'll cover in the video, and this is my YouTube channel. You just type in my name, you will get the channel. I have more than 2000 subscribers and more than 130 pharma and science related videos. If you like the video content, do subscribe. Let's get into the topic. Now see, this news is what made me to make this video. Fearing COVID, Indians are propping means taking ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, dexamethasone, all self-prescribed. It means no doctor has prescribed these drugs, but they are taking ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine and dexamethasone. How far it is justified? You know, doctors say consuming medicines without a proper prescription causes additional side effects and it will not treat COVID. Let me explain in detail. See, I have collected news from various articles, World Health Organization regarding COVID treatment drugs and put them together in this video. See, this is from New York Times and this article explains what all the drugs included for the COVID treatment, what are the drugs that are not supposed to use to treat COVID. Let us see one by one. See, this is very recent news. In April 19, the data shows there is an antiviral drug known as molnupiravir. It is an antiviral drug. It is unlikely to help hospitalized patient. That means COVID subjects which are hospitalized, even if they are using this molnupiravir, it unlikely helps them. So that means this drug is of no use. Now moving to the next one, oleandrin. Oleandrin is a glycoside. This glycoside is from oleander plant. In US, people thought that this drug will cure COVID, but the data says it is not promising. So this drug cannot be used to treat COVID. Next one, the FDA warns consumers not to use ivermectin to treat or prevent COVID. This is important one because right now in India there are a lot of hospitals which are using ivermectin, but FDA says, not only FDA, even World Health Organization also says that no, it cannot prevent COVID. So it is of no use. Now again, World Health Organization strongly warns against the use of hydroxychloroquine. At the beginning of COVID, hydroxychloroquine was supposed to be a wonder drug. People were wondering this can cure COVID-19. But the data says it is not. Now you can see the drugs which are excluded. Molnupiravir, you cannot use it. Oleandrin, no. Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. In India, we have problem with these two drugs. So many people are using them without any prescription. It is of no use. Now, what are useful drugs? Azithromycin, an antibiotic used to fight bacterial infection, can be used to treat COVID if they have bacterial infection. In India, people are using doxycycline, a tetracycline derivative. Rather than doxycycline, the data says azithromycin is more beneficial. It treats respiratory infections too. Next one, colchicine, an anti-inflammatory drug used to treat gout. It is also included to treat COVID-19. Why? Because COVID-19 causes severe inflammation which will damages our lungs, and that inflammation can be cured by colchicine. So these two are included. Now even more interesting thing. See, a large trial finds no mortality benefit. Mortality means death rate. So there is no benefit among hospitalized patients receiving convalescent plasma. Convalescent plasma means if someone gets COVID-19, their plasma has got antibodies. So people thought if someone has recovered from COVID-19, if the plasma is taken which contains antibodies, if it is transfused to COVID-19 patient, the antibodies will fight with COVID-19. This was the theory, but no. The data says no mortality benefit. Convalescent plasma is not working out. So now understand all the details. Let me put this again. So what kind of drugs are out? This antiviral drug, oleandrin, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, convalescent plasma. All of them has not shown promising result to treat COVID-19. So what has proven details, like what has azithromycin, colchicine, these two has shown promising results in treating inflammation. Again, remember, you are treating symptoms, you are not treating the virus as such. So this is from New York Times. So please don't use ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine without any prescription, which is of no use. Let us see one by one. Now, leaving these drugs, one more important thing is that is remdesivir. Now, nowadays there is a frantic rush for remdesivir, but let us understand what it does. See, this is made by Gilead Sciences, and it has gained approval from the FDA to treat COVID-19. Now, how it acts? It inhibits the replication of virus. Now, virus, when it gets into the human body, the viral number is very low. But inside the cell, it multiplies and the viral particle numbers increases. That is what is called as replication. And this remdesivir inhibit this replication. But see, remdesivir was initially developed to treat Ebola and hepatitis C. But after that, researchers thought it can use to treat COVID. See, the benefit is very low. What is that benefit is? The drug reduced the recovery time of people hospitalized with COVID from 15 to 11 days. What does it mean? Someone gets COVID and he gets hospitalized. Usually it takes 1 to 15 days to get cured that infection. If they are taking remdesivir, instead of 15, they will get cured in 11 days. Again, this cannot be used to treat severe infection. It can only reduce the time of recovery. So this is what is the benefit from remdesivir. This is not Sanjeevani. Don't think that by taking remdesivir people can be saved. No, it just reduces recovery time. There is one more drug is there. Look at this. See, it has shown promising evidence and it is approved by FDA. The evidence is in cells, animals and humans too. And what is that evidence? This is what reduces recovery time. There is one more drug called as favipiravir. This is also acts in similar manner. Initially, it was developed to treat influenza. In fact, it is approved in certain countries like Japan, Kenya, Russia, Saudi Arabia and Thailand. But the trials suggest it has only negligible impact on mortality. So you cannot use this to treat COVID. It is not very effective. So that is what it says, tentative or mixed evidence. Tentative or mixed evidence means that it is not for sure. Whereas remdesivir, it shows promising evidence and it is FDA approved. So this is about favipiravir. Now see, this is from World Health Organization site. See, the World Health Organization advises that ivermectin only be used to treat COVID-19 within clinical trials. You cannot use it to treat COVID infection in normal human beings. It can only be used in clinical trials. This is from World Health Organization site. You can check the site, you will find the same information. And this is published in 31st March 2021. Now, the same site has got other details. See, there is a strong recommendation for the use of systemic corticosteroids for severe or critically ill COVID-19 patients. Understand this one. Corticosteroids can be used only for severe or critically ill COVID-19 patients. Now, the other one. See, again, remdesivir is also conditionally recommended. Now, again, look at this. Strong recommendation against the use of hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine for the treatment of COVID-19. You cannot use this. They are recommending against the use of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine. It cannot be used to treat. Similarly, strong recommendation against administering lopinavir, ritonavir. Both of them are antiviral drugs for the treatment of COVID-19. That means this combination also you cannot use it. Again, the next one. Conditional recommendation for the use of low-dose anticoagulants in hospitalized patients. Now understand this. When corona infection occurs, some of the people are dying because of clots. Clots can be treated by anticoagulants. So anticoagulants can be used in hospitalized patients as well as corticosteroids can be used in severely ill patients. So these two are approved according to the World Health Organization. But hydroxychloroquine, lopinavir, ritonavir and ivermectin should not be used. Again, this is from World Health Organization site. Moving to the next one. Now see, this is again a very recent update. This is from Economist Science and Technology paper, a recent news. It says budesonide. Budesonide is a cheap asthma drug that can alleviate COVID-19 symptoms. Again, the trial finds it speeds up recovery by 3 days. Do you remember remdesivir? That speeds up recovery by 4 days. This one speeds up recovery by 3 days. Again, it is only for recovery, not for critically ill patients. Now the last one, tocilizumab. Again, there is a mad rush for this drug. Now again, see, tocilizumab drug is a last resort. That means it has to be used at the end. Before understanding how this drug acts, you need to know how corona kills human being. See, when COVID-19 gets into human being, the infection spreads to the lungs. In the lungs, it evokes a response called as inflammatory signals. Dendritic cells, macrophages, monocytes, all of them are immune mediators. All of them will be releasing interleukins, and these interleukins will cause something called as cytokine storm. Cytokines are very powerful immune mediators. What do? They cause ARDS, acute respiratory distress syndrome, multi-organ failure, hyperinflammation syndrome, and finally it results in death. This is what is happening in COVID. When people gets COVID, why people are dying with COVID? Because it is causing hyperinflammation, and that is what resulting in this one. Now let us get back to tocilizumab. Now tocilizumab should be used at the end, and this one is interleukin 6 inhibitor. Interleukin 6 is majorly responsible for the cytokine storm. So this is inhibited by tocilizumab. Now, but again, see, according to Guleria, he is AIIMS director. According to him, tocilizumab should be used only when COVID-19 patient is worsening despite steroids, remdesivir, and other treatments like anticoagulants. If someone is admitted with COVID-19 and he is in a serious situation, to him steroids are not working, remdesivir is not working, and anticoagulants are not working, then only tocilizumab should be used. It is required in less than 2% of the COVID-19 patient. Very few patients need this drug because it's only for treating cytokine storm. Remember this. So in that case only this drug is approved to use. So these are all the drugs which are used to treat COVID-19. Now this is a general information. This is known as pulse oximeter. Now the major detection thing which we can do it in home for COVID is using this pulse oximeter. This comes like this, you just put it into your finger, it will tell you oxygen saturation level. It is called as oxygen saturation level. In normal human beings, it has to be between 94 to 100. Anything less than 94 indicates there is a problem in our oxygen saturation level, and that indicates COVID. The major sign for COVID is hypoxia. Hypo means reduced level, oxia means oxygen. Hypoxia is nothing but less than 94 levels of this oxygen saturation. The other indicator is only just pulse rate. But the major thing is blood oxygen level. If it is falling less than 94, you need to be take care. Anything going down 94, that indicates immediately hospitalization is required because oxygen used to be pumped up. So I recommend all of you to get this pulse oximeter. It costs around 1000 to 1500, which will give you a very good estimation of COVID infection. Now this is a major news. See, recently in Hindu paper, a study is published. COVID-19 patients with sedentary habits more likely to die. A study finds sedentary means a lazy lifestyle. See, lack of exercise. Lack of exercise linked to more severe symptoms and higher risk of death among COVID-19 patients. So this is the importance of keeping ourselves fit. Doing exercise is very much essential for every organ functioning. People who don't do regular exercises are yielding to this disease, and the death rate is very high, and this is what is found by a study. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video contents, do subscribe.